Welcome to the Crafty Seas. Would you like to make your own wooden Christmas decorations for this year's Christmas tree? Well, stay tuned and we'll show you how. To make these stunning 3D wooden Christmas decorations, what you'll need is a chipboard or wooden Bauble blank, and you can get these very cheaply online, and you'll need some paper of your choice, and we're going to use this Christmas Moments 6x6 paper pad in lovely traditional festive colours. And we're also going to use to create our 3D topper here the Little Robins and Friends Decoupage set. And as you can see, it comes in all the individual pieces, and we'll just pop these out and build them up to create our topper. And to create our bauble stop here, we have used a Chloe's Creative die set, the Dies by Chloe Merry Christmas Bauble die set, and we have used this part of the die here, and this came with a Chloe's Creative magazine. And we'll also be using some foam pads in a very small size and some double-sided adhesive on a roll. You can also get this on a sheet, and we'll be using this to attach our paper to the bauble, but you could also use glue. To make the closing fastening on the top, we've used a wooden bead which we have used some gilding flakes on. So if you'd like to make your very own or similar Christmas baubles to the ones we are showing you, stay tuned and let's get crafting. So the first step, we decided on which paper we were going to use from the paper pad, and then we took our double-sided adhesive and we're just going to stick our paper down to that. And as you can see, it's perfectly smooth and there's no bubbles. And we'll just cut this out and stick it onto our bauble. A top tip for removing the sticky back plastic on the self-adhesive sheets is to really burnish it down and use a pokey tool or the tip of a pin to start to peel that back. It just makes it a little bit easier. And at this point I realised it would have also made the process a lot easier if I had drew round the bauble blank and cut it out before sticking it down. But hey ho, I couldn't find a pen or pencil, so I've just stuck it down, and I will now use a pair of scissors and an X-Acto knife just to trim off that excess. But if you're going to do this yourself, I would suggest that you draw round the bauble blank first to save you having to cut off all this sticky bit. This is a recent crafty purchase. It's a mini pen knife, and it's absolutely perfect for getting into intricate little bits that you couldn't maybe get into with scissors if you were fussy cutting something. And it's clickable, so you can retract the blade and put the cap back on, and it's nice and safe for storage. So that was a recent crafty purchase, and it came in really handy today for this task. Another handy tip we found if you're covering a bauble or wooden shapes with paper is to take away that cut edge and scissor marks. You can use a nail file or some fine sandpaper just gently to take away that roughness, and it just gives it a nice smooth finish. We love making our own Christmas baubles and try to make a different one each year. What about you? Are you going to be making any of your own Christmas decorations this year? We'd love to hear from you. Drop us a little comment below. We love to answer all your comments and hear what kind of crafting yous have been up to. So I'm just going to continue filing round the edge of this bauble and get it nice and neat. So next up, we're going to cover the both sides of the bauble, and as you can see here, we've put some gold around the edges and the top. And to do that, we have used some gilding polish. We absolutely love this gilding wax. It's really versatile and adds a beautiful lustre to any project, and it's really easy to use, and a little goes a long way. Have you ever tried gilding polishes or gilding waxes? So once you have your bauble covered with your paper on both sides, and you put your gold pen, gilding flakes or gilding wax around the edge, we have used this Chloe's Creative Merry Christmas bauble die set. And we've used the small bauble top die and some gold card to cut out the bauble top. And we're going to just use some glue to glue it on here. But as our bauble's a slightly different shape, we're just going to snip off this little top part. Like so. And we'll put one on the front and one on the back. Now that we've got the base of our bauble all ready, it's time to make the topper to go on top. So as I showed you earlier, we're using this Little Robin's Decoupage kit. So we're just going to choose a design and pop out all the pieces. And sometimes with decoupage and topper kits, you can get little nodules of paper left on them, and it can detract sometimes from the final topper image. So what we like to do at the Crafty Seas is snip these off with a pair of scissors, or you can also file them back using the nail file that we used earlier or some fine sandpaper. And as this topper has a lot of small layers, we'll be using our tiny foam pad squares from our stash to build it up. And here is the finished topper. We've also added some glitter glue and Nuvo drops to add a little sparkle and dimension. To attach our 3D decoupage topper to the bauble, I'm going to use some double-sided tape with a little bit of wet glue as well. And just make sure you get that topper nice and central on your bauble, and it's starting to look great. And you can see all the different layers and dimension there. It's got a nice 3D effect. So the only thing left to do now is to make our hanging part. And for that you'll need a length of coordinating ribbon and a wooden bead, or any bead for that matter. Here we've just used a wooden bead and some of that gilding wax to turn it gold. And we're going to use a pokey tool or a needle to thread the ribbon through the hole at the top of the bauble. And it's a little bit tricky, but with the aid of a pokey tool or needle, you should be able to manage it. And pull both ends through, and then put both ends of your ribbon together, and then thread the two ends through your bead, again using your pokey tool. And this is a really fun hanging method for Christmas decorations, because with the ball you can make the opening larger or smaller. So if you have a large branch on your Christmas tree with lots of needles on it, you can expand it, or if you've just got a thin little branch, you can pull the bead down and it will keep it nice and secure on your Christmas tree. And to tidy up the ribbon edges, we've just snipped them off with a pair of scissors, and you can use a match or a lighter just to gently singe the ends, and that will stop them from fraying. And there you have it, your own 3D Christmas bauble made from just some paper pads and a bauble blank. And you can make these with any papers that you like in any colourways, and any style. Here we have our finished wooden ornaments, and we've packaged them all up as a little gift. I hope you can see from the glare. And I'll show you a picture of them on the tree, as this ball fastening is really handy for getting it onto your Christmas tree branches. So I'll show you the different designs and hopefully it'll give you some inspiration. So here we have the stag head design. And this one is the stag on the tartan. And this one here is a little robin. And I'll just open this to show you the back. And on the back of this one here, we have heat embossed in gold the sentiment, "Loved ones are near when robins appear." And this is a nice Christmas bauble you can put on your tree in remembrance of maybe a loved one or a loved family member or pet that you may have lost this year. So it's a little remembrance bauble with the decoupaged robin. And again, we've just popped it into one of these plastic bags to keep it safe and dust free. And here's another one of the stag head designs. And they're all 3D layered decoupage, and we've used some red Nouveau drops for some texture here. And this one is a cute little Santa, and we've used some 3D puffy snow on this one. It's fluffy stuff. You just heat it using your heat embossing gun and it all puffs up like snow. And on the back we've just put some sentiments, "Merry Christmas." And again it has the movable ball fastening for attaching to the tree. And this one is just a flat piece of craft a clock paper that we had in our stash with the lovely reindeer, and we've had some sparkle glitter glue and some pearl drops to look like snowfall. So I hope you've enjoyed the tutorial and will give this a go, and please let us know in the comment section below what your favourite bauble was. Thank you so much for watching today. Please consider hitting that like button, subscribe, drop us a little comment because we love to hear from you, and until next time, happy crafting.